Good morning. It's November. Well, it could be based on the weather, but no, it's March the 10th. As you can see, we've had a little fresh snow today. So once again, walking in the snow. I thought I'd be walking while it was falling, but I think it's clearing up. So this is probably all we're getting. Last time I looked, there was quite a bit of snow coming later in the week, but we'll see. So yeah, it's not actually spring. Not even officially, and certainly not weatherly, if that's a word. Weather-wise, weatherly. Have to be careful here because now, of course, you can't see where the ice is under this fresh layer of snow. So, especially on these residential sidewalks, I want to be cautious. I'm just heading downtown. I have a meeting with someone, lunch meeting. So that's where I'm headed. And I'll work down there. But, oh yeah, see, there's ice under this snow right here. I hate that. I could tell because there was a skid mark where somebody's foot had slipped, exposing the ice underneath the snow. I don't want to be the person who exposes the ice under the snow by slipping. My right shoe is not tied as tightly as I like, but I'm stuck with that. It's double tied, so it won't come undone. But I've already been to the gym this morning, so there's that. Did a little publishing stuff I had to do. I have two minds about going to the gym in the morning. On the one hand, you get it over with. The rest of the day is yours, so that's good. But it does kind of wipe out the morning, and actually mornings are one of my more productive times sometimes, so I just can't quite decide which I prefer. I've been going in the afternoon more than in the mornings, but today, because of this lunch meeting, I managed to nab one of the limited number of spots at OPEX Regina, which is the gym I go to. I like it because there are coaches there all the time, and you get a personalized workout provided to you before you go, so that suits my temperament. I want somebody to spell out for me what I should do instead of relying on my own feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Also, it's a 35 and older gym, so you don't have any like college athletes or anything in there making you feel bad. Well, unless they're taking a long time to get through college, but there must be some sort of age on it. In fact, these morning sessions, most of the other people there are older than I am, mostly women too. There were a couple of guys there this morning, maybe two or three, but I think I was the youngest. Maybe not. There's one guy that might have been younger, but we were in the same ballpark anyway. And quite an old ballpark it is, with rickety fences and great. That was even a puddle. I stepped in a slushy puddle. It is below freezing, but where there's been a lot of water hasn't frozen solid with this current coolness. So yes, I am walking very carefully here. Once I get to the main sidewalks again, it'll be okay. They'll just have the fresh snow on them since they were bare last time I walked. So taking little tiny steps here and keeping a very close look on what the footing looks like, which still doesn't necessarily save you, but it helps. I've got a big layout job to work on this week that I have to get to, which I've been putting off while I do other things. But I do have other things because tomorrow is release date for Theories of Everything, a new collection of short fiction by Saskatchewan author Dwayne Brenna that My Shadow Paw Press is publishing. So that releases tomorrow. Oh, and over the weekend, I posted a new World Shapers podcast interview featuring Dwayne. So if you'd like to check that out, it's right here on my YouTube channel, if that's where you're watching this, which you probably are, because that's the only place you can, unless you're watching it live on Facebook, I guess. I guess you can watch the recording on Facebook too. Okay, you could be on Facebook, but if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you'll find a link to the podcast in my feed. Okay, now this sidewalk was clear, so I'm hopeful it's got nothing but a little skiff of snow on it, and I can pick up the pace a little bit here without killing myself. And as usual, my path will be determined by when I get across Albert Street. I might get across right up here because the light hasn't changed. It just depends if I have quite enough time to get to the corner before it does. Can never tell until it happens. Oh, nope, I missed it. All right, that means we're going north along Albert to start with. Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there in the fresh snow. Also the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, this building. That's where their labs are for the paleontologists and paleobiologists and this and that. I've been in there, not recently. Used to be it was the first Saskatchewan government telephones building is what it was built as. It still says on the front of it somewhere. Or there's a sign, I guess. Yeah. Tells you all about it. You know, does anybody actually call them Sandos except for this pub? I've never heard them called Sandos except here. They're sandwiches. Not Sandos. It doesn't even save you a syllable. Sandwich and Sando is exactly the same length word spoken. I guess it's, what, 4 fewer letters on the sign, so maybe that makes sense. But maybe I'm just not with the hep talk of these here modern kids. But I never call them Sandos. How's this one looking? Will I cross up here? Or keep going? Usually if I miss the one back there, I end up keeping going here, but we will see, won't we? If it goes to don't walk as I'm crossing here, then I'll cross at this next corner, otherwise I'll keep, it's going to work out for that. Yeah. Perfect. I get the button pushed in time. All right, well, I'm still going to stick to Albert Street, though, because of the uncertainty of the ice. So we'll just go straight up Albert, probably straight down Victoria again. The wind's a little sharp on my exposed wrist because my gloves are short. Because we've been wimped out by all the thawing. So it goes down to below freezing. It's like, oh, it's so cold again. But it really isn't. It's very mild compared to 2 weeks ago when it was minus 40. This is melting because of salt. That patch. I haven't been in there for a while. Blanco Cantina. I wanted to change the pace. At least they bring you tortilla chips and salsa as soon as you sit down. It's in an old house. It's been various restaurants over the years. Has a nice deck up on top with the tree up there in the spring. Downtown. Well, this is downtown too, but that's downtown. Downtown squared. Downtown. Ooh, ice here. And a lonely glove lying there with snow on it. Doesn't match anything I have, so I'll leave it. I'll probably have to wait for the left turn signal here, I would think. Yeah. I could probably risk going along 13th to the right. Imagine this sidewalk is pretty much clear too, just for variation. Oh, sorry, it says 13th, it's 14th. But my theory hopefully holds. Those sidewalks that has poles and trees sticking out of it periodically. That old house used to be a vegetarian restaurant. Now it's a hairstyling place. I remember eating a vegetarian meal there. Heliotrope. It was called Heliotrope. Still, I think is the name of the farm where a lot of stuff comes in for a farmer's market, I think. Anyway, that was a long time ago. I was younger then. Across Gilbert and Burke, famous jewelry makers, I should say. Jewelers implies that they sell it, but they make it. Very well known company. It's a seniors apartment building, I believe. Oof! See, found some more ice. Horizon. Usually if I go oof, it's because my foot has slipped, just so you know. It's not because I'm saying egg in French. See, North Canadian Oil's building up there. At least that's what it used to be called. That's what I still call it. Yeah, that wind is quite sharp. Sharper than I expected. I'm fine in the coat, but I don't have any way to cover my face. Well, I guess I have my scarf. I could put it up, but it's not quite cold enough for that. It's just cold enough to complain about without bothering to do anything about it. Everybody complains about the weather, but nobody does anything about it, as the old saying goes. Oh, there was a comment that went by really quick there from Facebook, so whoever that was, I'll see that later. Something about sauntering. By the old Y here, turning into something else, but nobody seems to be quite sure what. It says the nest, but I don't know if that's still happening or not. Doesn't seem to be any construction or anything, so I do not know. So my daughter went to daycare back when it was the Y, where she started kindergarten, up through kindergarten. Henry II has been here empty forever. A nice little restaurant space, but nobody has ever claimed it since it closed many years ago now. Many years ago. Those tables have been sitting there for probably 20 years. I remember going in there for something. It was kind of open, but oh, traffic here. Lunchtime traffic. People heading somewhere for lunch. What time is it? Oh, it's only 11:35. Seems a little early for that. I think this has a bunch of doctors' offices in it, or at least it did. Don't know what else is in there now. I'll carry on. Cross property at a corner. Always safer. Usually safer. Sidewalks aren't too bad. It seems like they've mostly had melted off down here. I can see a few places, like right here, where there's still piled up snow and ice that the fresh snow is on, which is the dangerous bit, but so far so good. There's lots of cars coming along. 13th here. By the Salvation Army. We're going up Lawrence Street now. One more block to Albert Street. This way we can go by one of my two favorite apartment buildings, the Frontenac over here. Ooh, slush there. This sidewalk's not great. For whatever reason, probably wasn't cleared well to begin with. Despite there being a boutique criminal law firm, whatever that means. What the heck is a boutique law firm? Free range, organic law firm. All our lawyers are free range lawyers and are fed only the best organic foods. I don't know. That just seems a strange expression, especially for a criminal law firm. Boutique criminal law firm. There's the Frontenac. You see why I like it. Has kind of a Spanish look to it. Oh, and again, I forgot to bring the music to the First Baptist here. Sitting on the piano, there's music from last Easter. Last Easter, at least. I think it's last Easter, which I never turned in. And I've told Louise Kruger, the choir director, that I will drop it off in their mailbox on one of my many walks downtown. And so far I've gone by it about 8 times because I always forget. As soon as I get back, I should plug it into the, let's go down the alley to be different. I should plug it in, just push it into my computer bag, and then it would be with me for sure. Yeah, I think that every time I go by it. And I just did again, but I so far have not done it. Perhaps today will be different. I'll remember because I have spoken about it with you. And now we'll stick to the alley. We're going behind the land titles building here. Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame is in there. There's the hotel peeking up there. That's our destination. Well, my destination. You're probably not headed that way. Could be. I don't know. Is this guy coming straight across? Can't tell. Looks like he is not. Okay. Admin Center for Sport, Culture, and Recreation there is a place I take posters to be printed. Just did that recently for Wascana Voices, the self-directed choir I sing with. We had rehearsal last night. Our concert's coming up 2 weeks from Saturday at Westminster United Church, which is on 13th, not far from our house, just north of our house. Well, and over to the west a little bit. Victoria Park ahead of us, of course. City Hall over there, Knox Metropolitan United Church. Government of Canada building. Don't even ask me what I think of our unelected, coronated, liberal Prime Minister, Carney. Or perhaps from my tone of voice, you can tell what I think. Quite possibly. I detested Justin Trudeau, and I'm fully prepared to detest this guy too. All right, here we are. Thanks for walking with me, and bye for now.